Hey, I'm Steven and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I really wish I didn't need to make this video, but I just can't stay silent. I feel compelled because I know there's going to be a few headline readers out there who act upon this article without even reading it. Maybe it's trapped behind a paywall and lose incredible amounts of money, in my opinion. I am of course referring to an article that recently appeared on Barron's, so let's see what it had to say. But first, hey guys, if you live in the US and you'd like to help out the channel and get up to 4 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account, you'll get 2 free stocks between $2.50 and $250 each just for opening an account. And if you deposit $100, you'll get a further 2 free stocks valued between $8 and $1,600 each. That is an obnoxiously good return on your investment. I mean, really, deposit $100 and you'll end up with, at minimum, $21 worth of stocks, a 21% ROI on your money. And if you're in Australia, the UK, or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake also using the link in the description. Let's get back to it. So here we are on the Barron's website, and the title of this article, Buy Nikola Stock because it's when, not if, hydrogen tech is adopted. Now, I'm just going to interrupt here. This is an incredibly irresponsible headline. This is almost as irresponsible as the 362 different morons on YouTube currently advising people to buy or sell certain stocks who have no idea what the fuck they're doing. 1. Don't tell people what to do with their money. 2. You're going to have future lawsuits coming after your ass. Yeah, that's right, because you're giving investment advice illegally. Oh, it's YouTube. No one's going to find out. Oh, yeah, well, guess what? I'd start sucking away some money for those future lawsuits because they will come. Just giving you guys some friendly advice. Now with that out of the way, let's get into this irresponsibly titled article, which very clearly implies that people should buy Nikola stock. Those of you who are regular viewers of this channel will no doubt be fully aware of my thoughts regarding Nikola. I've been waving my hand around pointing out red flags since before the Hindenburg research report came out detailing all of the allegations of fraud, lies, deception and misleading of investors. Allegedly. There were so many red flags from this company, its founder, some of their claims about technology that I couldn't stay silent, and sure enough, the suspicions were vindicated. There's now an SEC and Department of Justice investigation into this company, okay? They are actively being investigated by the Department of Justice and the Securities Exchange Commission currently, okay? One more time. They are currently under investigation by the SEC and the DOJ. But don't worry about that, because clearly you should buy Nikola stock because it's when, not if, hydrogen tech is adopted. Al Root. Incredibly irresponsible, my man. I got nothing personal. I don't know who the fuck you are. I've never read any of the other articles, but dude, this is an enormous error of judgment. The only reason I'm making this video is because I'm absolutely disgusted that this would get through and be published on a mainstream publication. People read this headline and act on it. People will read this article and act on it. And that's okay if they draw their own conclusions. But the problem is most people don't want to do the thinking or the digging that this journalist himself didn't do. If I sound a little pissed, it's because I am. See, unlike roller coasters where you must be this tall to ride, there's no IQ test before you open up a stock trading account, which means anybody can be buying and selling stocks. So, with that in mind, let's see why I'm so agitated. And let me be crystal clear for the few people out there that may not be super clear here. I'm not advising you do anything with Nikola stock. I'm not advising you buy Nikola stock, sell Nikola stock, or hold Nikola stock. What I'm doing is reading an article and sharing my own thoughts and opinions and information that I believe to be relevant. Of course, everything I say in this is only my opinion. I could be completely wrong, so please do your own research. Assume everything I say is absolutely incorrect. Verify and validate. Do not act on anything I say without first confirming whether I'm talking smack, making shit up, or actually stating things that occurred. Alright, let's get into it. So again, that disgusting headline. Buy Nikola stock because it's when, not if, hydrogen tech is adopted. The balance of calls on Nikola stock is tilting toward the upbeat side. Nikola has picked up its 6th analyst rating, a buy from Loop Capital analyst Jeffrey Kaufman, who, in my opinion, is going to be rather embarrassed by this call in the future, but hey, what do I know? I'm just some moron on the internet. Giving the stock 3 buys, 2 neutrals, and 1 sell. This alone, this stat, these analysts currently recommending people buy Nikola stock, in my opinion, shouldn't have a job in 2 weeks' time. But hey, what do I know? Again, I'm just some idiot on the internet. Kaufman says that despite allegations that Nikola may have overhyped its technological prowess, it is a question of when, and not if, new zero-emission technologies are adopted in the coming decade. Nikola, of course, plans to launch zero-emission heavy-duty trucks powered by batteries and hydrogen fuel cells in coming years. Kaufmans sees commercial diesel engines giving way to battery and fuel cell technologies. It is also not a question whether or not Nikola participates in that revolution, wrote Kaufman. It's a question of to what degree. Now I'm just going to jump in here. So far, the dude hasn't said anything incredibly controversial. It is possible that Nikola does participate in some small manner in this electric/hydrogen fuel cell revolution. This is a possibility. Okay, these comments are valid. I do, however, take an enormous issue with the implication that people should be buying Nikola stock because they may or may not be participating in this future. Let's continue. Nikola has intellectual property attractive to other industry players and possesses a first mover advantage in fuel cells and heavy duty applications, the analyst says. Now, I'm sorry, but no. Nikola has intellectual property attractive to other industry players? Where? The entire Hindenburg research report alleged that Nikola had almost nothing of any use or utility or value to anybody else. They were buying components and parts from other suppliers, cobbling them together, and allegedly their founder and ex-executive chairman, Trevor Milton, was lying, misleading, and deceiving investors, claiming that they had technology, claiming that they had intellectual property, claiming that they had the best battery and fuel cell technology on Earth. Claiming, not proving, not demonstrating, claiming. And we've now come to discover that the vast majority of these claims appear to have been nothing more than claims, not grounded in reality, but in Trevor Milton's deluded fantasy land. Again, allegedly. Please do your own research. With the shares having retreated to current levels following a series of negative publicity events, I've got to interrupt here. Negative publicity events? You mean a short-selling research firm releasing a truly scathing, absolutely damning report full of allegations of lies, deception, fraud, misleading of investors, and Nikola's response, effectively a tacit admission to every claim in the report, none denied, none refuted whatsoever? You call that negative publicity events? Are you fucking kidding me? We believe the risk-reward is better balanced at these levels for new investors, he wrote. And I believe this is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. I mean, did this Muppet actually look into the allegations or the response from Nikola? You know, like allegation. Nikola dragged a truck up a hill that wasn't capable of propelling itself, didn't have an internal drivetrain, couldn't move, dragged this truck up a hill, rolled it down a hill, filmed it rolling down a hill, then released a video entitled Nikola 1 in Motion and deceived investors by pushing this out as if the truck was propelling itself. Nikola's response to this allegation? We didn't tell anyone it was powering itself, so that wasn't deceptive because we didn't say that it was propelling itself down a hill. Duh. That's not a red flag. That's not a red flag. Oh yeah, but hydrogen will play a role in the future. Therefore, this company, who cares about that? You know, whatever, because hydrogen. Yeah, by Nikola Stock. The negative PR Kaufman is referring to is a short seller's report that alleges management misled investors, among other things. Nikola denies the claims. Sorry, I gotta jump in here again. Bullshit. No. Nikola responded to the claims. Responded. And by doing so, in my opinion, and that of practically everyone with functioning grey matter, tacitly admitted to the fraud, lies, deception and misleading of investors. They didn't refute anything. They tacitly admitted to everything in the report, in my opinion. This is lazy fucking journalism. Need I remind you once more that Nikola is currently being investigated by the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Department of Justice. Many people within Nikola have been subpoenaed, okay? They're under active investigation by the SEC and the Department of Justice relating to claims of fraud, lies, and misleading investors. This is not a closed case. They're currently under investigation. Nikola wasn't able to successfully refute the claims. That is why they're being investigated. Okay? This matters. And guys, bear with me because in just a moment you're about to discover why I'm so pissed. Doesn't really have a whole lot to do with the lazy journalism. The fact that this clown is suggesting that Nikola denied the claims by the Hindenburg research report when in fact, in my opinion, all they did was tacitly admit to their truth. No, instead it's got to do with what I see as a house of cards poised to collapse any moment. Now, of course, anything could happen. I don't have a crystal ball and I'm not in fact from the future. But I think if you bear with me and I explain my reasoning, you might start to understand why I'm so fired up. Nikola denies the claims, but the report, published September 10, has caused the stock to drop. It has also substantially delayed a deal Nikola had struck with General Motors. Sorry, correction. No deal was struck. A deal was currently being negotiated. Big difference. GM and Nikola were to close a broad partnership on September 30th. GM was to take an 11% stake in Nikola, providing engineering and manufacturing support, among other things, in exchange. I've got to jump in here again. This is incredibly lazy journalism. Jesus fucking Christ. So apparently GM was providing engineering and manufacturing support, among other things. Yeah, among other things, such as they were also supplying their batteries and their fuel cell technology, despite Nikola claiming to have incredible breakthrough battery and fuel cell tech of their own. Bit suspicious that Nikola wasn't bringing their technology to this partnership, but was instead giving away a huge chunk of their company, committing to hundreds of millions of dollars of capex expenditure to pay GM to help build these things, and agreeing to buy GM's technology, GM's battery, and GM's fuel cell tech. Yeah, a little bit of a red flag. Not even mentioned. Jesus Christ, dude. The two sides are still talking, and Nikola's shares are still swinging violently. Nikola Stock is up about 128% since announcing plans to go public in early March, yet the shares are down almost 40% since the report emerged. And by the way, Nikola still hasn't made a cent of revenue apart from selling solar panels to its now ex-executive chairman and founder, Trevor Milton, who obviously is no longer at the company following allegations of a little bit of fibbing and maybe some inappropriate behavior with women that may or may not potentially have been related to him. Allegedly. Do your own research. This week, Nikola Stock has risen 20%. There isn't much news to explain the gain. I'll tell you what can explain the gain. Investors who didn't have to pass an IQ test to invest. Just saying. Yeah, I did just say that. I actually mean it. Investors have been excited about a potential update regarding the GM deal. GM gave a presentation at an investor conference Thursday, but GM and Nikola have only reiterated they are still talking. The opportunity the stock offers doesn't depend entirely on GM or a resolution to the short sellers' claims. Kaufmans says global sales of commercial vehicles could grow from some 600 billion currently to as much as 800 billion, giving Nikola vast room to grow. Truly Einstein-esque genius thinking here. Yeah, never mind about all those allegations, the investigations, forget all that. Obviously, there's going to be growth in the industry that they're apparently dabbling in, so therefore, there's opportunity. Just, forget about the red flags. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with pointing out the opportunity, the market size, etc. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. What I take issue with is the fact that while these opportunities are being pointed out, the fact that the entire ship is on fire and is currently sinking is being completely ignored. Now, if you pointed out a ship on the ocean that was currently aflame, burning, you might say, well, there's potential that they'll put out the fire, that people won't have to jump overboard, the ship won't sink, and not everybody's going to die. That's true. But I'd much rather discuss the current emergency, also known as the entire fucking ship being on fire and currently sinking, and say, well, let's put out the fire first, let's deal with that. Then maybe once the emergency is dealt with, then we can start to talk about the potential opportunity of not sinking, not burning to death. To take that analogy a step further, I'm not the kind of guy who's likely to jump on board a ship I can visibly see is currently on fire and sinking. But hey, you do you. The global passenger car market is worth trillions each year. Cars and trucks are big business, and zero-emission sales are set to grow. There is an accelerating political push by countries around the world to reduce carbon footprints and transition to clean vehicles, adds the Analyst. This definitely true. The EU, for instance, plans to ban new fossil fuel-powered cars by 2030. Denmark wants all vehicles that emit carbon dioxide off roads by 2040. In the US, California plans to phase out new fossil fuel trucks by 2045. The goals might be difficult to meet, but they will help push the adoption of EV and fuel cell technologies in years to come. This, I totally agree with, but that's not a good reason to be investing in Nikola stock, in my opinion. With Kaufman, 3 analysts rate now Nikola shares to buy. The average price target among the buy-rated analysts is about $40 per share. 2 rate the stock a hold, with an average target of $23. Wedbush analyst Dan Ives, also known as the only analyst currently covering Nikola stock to demonstrate any evidence of grey matter whatsoever, in my opinion, rates Nikola stock at sell. His target is $15 a share. Shares were down 3.7% at $25.26 on Friday morning. The S&P 500 and Dow Jones Industrial Average were down about 0.2 and 0.4% respectively. Well, congratulations, you made it to the end of this video and now you get to discover exactly why I'm so fired up and why I felt compelled to make this video and why I'm never going to let this journalist live this article down. Despite the fact that this article, the very first 3 words of the title are by Nikola Stock, this journalist failed to even mention December 1st. Ooh, December 1st. Yeah, who cares, Stephen? Who cares about December 1st? What are you saying, bro? That's like a week and a half away. Like, what's the point, bro? Are you dumb? Well, see, here's the thing. The entire reason I made this video. On December 1st, the insider share lockup period ends. For those of you that don't know what that means, let me water it down for you. An enormous, truly enormous number of people who currently own Nikola stock but aren't able to sell, early investors, executives, etc., will finally be able to dump their shares. Now, remember, they're currently being investigated by the SEC and the Department of Justice for claims of frauds, lies, deception, misleading investors, and everybody who's currently holding shares that are locked up also knows this information. The company's valuation, in my opinion, is absolutely absurd, truly astronomical. When they're able to sell their shares on December 1st, what do you think some of these people, maybe not everybody, but what do you think some of these insiders might do with those shares? Maybe they might sell some of their shares on December 1st when they are able to. What do you think happens if lots of people are selling shares at the same time? Ready? That's what's likely to happen now. I don't have a crystal ball. Literally anything could happen. In a week and a half, somebody could be roasting me for making this video going, oh my goodness, man, oh, watch out, December 1st, a scary date. But if I were a betting man, I would bet that odds are on December 1st or thereabouts, there's going to be intense downward pressure on Nikola stock. Now, this isn't investment advice. I'm just telling you guys what I personally think is likely to happen and why I'm so pissed that this genius of a journalist didn't even mention this. Once again, the article, first 3 words, by Nikola Stock. Yet no mention whatsoever of the biggest red flag I have ever seen in a publicly traded company, giving me tangible information about what's likely to happen to the stock price in a short period of time. Once again, anything could happen. But if I was a betting man, I'd be betting on the stock heading down. Something to think about. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. Even the journalist. Everyone makes mistakes. And don't forget, if you live in the US and you'd like to help out the channel and get up to 4 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account, you'll get 2 free stocks between $2.50 and $250 each just for opening an account. And if you deposit $100, you'll get a further 2 free stocks valued between $8 and $1,600 each. And if you're in Australia, the UK or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake also using the link in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. PS, if you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.